Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is your girl Antilia, aka Talia, to Bare and Unfiltered. In this podcast, we don't discriminate, we don't undermine, we stay positive. This is a safe place for each and every one, doesn't matter the gender. So for today, the topic is moving from Jamaica to the United States and living with a parent or parents, doesn't matter. So as I said in my last video, I recently moved here to the United States from Jamaica. I won't state what state that I moved to. Well, I moved to Atlanta, nothing to hide. Anyway, I thought it was a good idea moving from Jamaica, moving here to the States, which is good. But I just thought, based on the fact that circumstances led me to the point where I had to go live with my dad and take my son and sister with me. And based on the fact that my dad and we never had a good relationship or didn't have a good relationship. So it's like, I'm like, yeah, I'm happy, but at the same time, I was very hesitant because my dad and I, again, didn't have a good relationship. I really met my dad when my mom passed. I knew of him. I've seen him a couple times. Last time I saw him, I think I was in 10th grade or something like that. So I'm like, and then we have not spoken since 2016. I think that was the last time. If it's not 2016, it's 2015, somewhere there. But I know we didn't talk for like a good while. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm moving here. I'm letting him know, like, hey, I'm coming to the States and whatever. I'm giving him the rundown and whatnot. Anyways, moving to the States, again, circumstances led me to move to my dad's house. And at the time, he was living with his wife and he had 2 tenants. So both tenants were males. Again, I'm happy. I'm here around my dad. Most of my siblings are here in the States on my dad's side. But now, yes, most of my siblings by my mom, everybody is traveling. Who's not living here already, travel back and forth. So my dad's wife, we didn't talk either because when my mom passed November 4th, and I just met this lady, and she was like, remember, I'm going through the phase. I'm crying. I'm devastated. All my life, I've always been a small frame person, but I can't recall ever being 95 pounds. When my mom passed, I was thin. I had 0 pants and I had to go and get those size 0 pants altered, which I had to take them in a little bit. That's how small I was when my mom passed. And she said something on the phone and it didn't sit well with me because she was like, oh, I know your mom passed, but I'm your second mom and you will get over it. And I'm like, what? First and foremost, like, I don't even know you. I've not even met you. We just start talking on the phone like a week now. Like, what? And she didn't say that with good intentions either. Moving here to the United States, yeah. Anyways, so I moved in with my dad and his wife and his 2 tenants. So my dad has a 2-story house. My dad lives on the 1st floor. We're on the 2nd floor. So whatever we do up there, he's gonna hear downstairs, and his wife. Again, my dad is barely home. He was hardly home because he works from state to state. his wife, when I first moved there, the same day when I got there, she took me to Walmart to pick up sheets and pillows and stuff. So, my wife was like, my dad was like, that's good. That was nice of her because she's not that type of person, whatever, whatever. So I'm like, okay, I'm here and I've been going through it. So I'm just trying to just go with the flow or whatever. Anyways, my dad's wife starts showing up and showing out and stuff. Oh, I moved here the May. I'm just gonna fast forward this, but still give you guys the details and the breakdown. I've always heard people say, oh, family and parents, especially Caribbean parents, they're not good to live with. A lot of them, they're not good to live with. And I had that experience firsthand. I know other people that had the same experience. So I've had or have friends that had the same exact experience. So I know it's not just me. So anyway, my dad, he took me out to eat the first day and whatnot, we vibing and talking and whatever. His wife, she was okay. It didn't took them long to start showing their true colors. My dad has a 5-bedroom house. It's a big house, and he put me, my son, and my sister in the smallest room in the house, and had two rooms empty. He had 2 rooms empty. And the crazy part about it is the mere fact that his wife didn't. Okay, so I moved here to May, and the July I start packing my barrels to send back to Jamaica because my brother was still there, and I have my 2 aunts and my cousin there. So I was getting stuff ready, and it was coming on to Christmas, so I wanted to send some stuff back to sell, to make a profit and whatnot. So his wife made a remark about, how is it? Because when I left Jamaica, I had a brand new car that I purchased. That car value like almost 6 mil, and she made a remark. Oh, I just came from Jamaica and I'm packing barrels to send back to Jamaica. And like I said, this did not take long. All this did not take long because I came here May. So I came here mid-May. So May, June, July. In between that, she was showing me bad face and stuff like that. She would make her little slick remark here and there. My dad told me not to pay her much attention and whatever. So yeah, when I start packing my barrels and stuff, she made a comment saying, oh, she been here 20 plus years and has never sent a barrel back to Jamaica. What am I doing? Where am I getting money from? And stuff like that. And she said, oh, is it that she's over here and not even the car that she owns was purchased brand new? So how did I afford that? You get what I'm saying? Anyways, I didn't think much of it. I'm like, because my comeback game is strong. So I just, anyways, she started complaining because I started buying the stuff like for 4th of July, cause you have sale and stuff. So I started buying stuff to pack in my barrel, because I sent 3 jumbo barrels and a humongous box. Like, I was packing the stuff on the back porch, and I asked my dad first, and he said fine, but cover the stuff, because he know the type of person his wife was. So I covered them, and apparently she opened the blinds and saw the stuff on the back and went out there and checked and realized that it's food and toiletries and stuff like that. So my dad told me to hurry up and pack the stuff in the barrels and whatever. So I'm like, okay, can I put the barrels in the garage and pack them from there? He's like, fine, just So anyways, I did just that. But I don't know, for some reason it's like I packed the bars, but like my intuition kept saying set the stuff a certain way so you know if she, tampered with them and whatever. I did just that. And just like that, just I took videos and pictures so I know exactly how I left the stuff. And she went through my stuff. She went through my stuff. I did say it to my dad, but again, he did nothing. Um, so I eventually shipped the barrels and the box and whatnot. Went back to my regular routine. Her daughter ended up coming there. No, I don't want to forget this part. So my little brother, my youngest brother by my dad's side, was living there. And he didn't want to work. He didn't want to do anything, which was her child. So my dad told him, like, if you don't want to work, you can't stay in my house. So I had to help him to move out. And the wife wasn't happy with that because she's like, oh, I'm your wife and that's my child and you don't want him to stay in the house, but you want your other daughter to live here and my son can't live here. So it was a big conflict going on. Anyway, so it's like from then it's like a battlefield between me and the wife. She started nitpicking. If I'm cooking, I can't turn the stove on high or medium. It has to be super low. So if I'm cooking something that's gonna be like, would normally take me like 5 minutes, it's gonna take me like 25 minutes because she didn't want the stove to be on high. Okay, ma'am. I mentioned it to my dad. He's like, oh, when she's not there, you could use it regularly. I'm like, okay. So because of that, what I used to do is like when I cook, I bought some meal prep plates. So I will cook like 3 different meat kind and do my meal prep so I don't have to keep going in the kitchen to use the stove because, we're going to have a problem. So anyway, she she started talking about the pots and pans and stuff like that. And I'm like, bro, this is too much. She told my dad I can't wear leggings in the house. My dad is not there. It's just me, her, my son. My sister came at the time. So it was me, her, my son, and my sister, and my dad. One of my dad's tenants had moved out. So it was just one tenant. So it was 5 of us there. She said I can't wear leggings in the house. I can't take shower more than 2 minutes. Ooh, this is the kicker right here. So when the kids will go to school in the morning, she said that they don't need to take showers when they get home because it's not like they're on the road walking up and down. They can just go to school, come back, change their clothes and go to bed. So when we take showers twice, it was a problem. And my dad didn't say nothing about that because she didn't like to take showers. She just go brush her teeth, wipe her armpits out and stuff like that. That lady was nasty as hell. Anyway, God, I thank you. Anyways, she started picking fights with me and stuff like that to the point where she locked the washroom door. We couldn't use the kitchen no more. She locked the washroom door, so we had to start going to the laundromat on Sundays and so on. It was a mess. When I tell you, I remember I went out one time in July. I think August. I went out in August and with a friend, and she locked me out. She told her daughter to lock me out because at this point her daughter had moved in and my dad gave her the master bedroom. So she had moved in and she was at work and she told the daughter to lock me out. So I went out with my friend. We spent probably like 2 hours out because where we went was like an hour from where my dad lived. I had to sit down and wait, and I blew my dad's phone up like, hey, because it was getting cold, you get me? And I blew his phone up like I'm outside. I'm sitting outside. I can't get in the house. And when I did open the door, they put the chain on the door, so I couldn't get past the chain. So I had access to open the door because my dad gave me a key. I had access to open the front door, but they put the chain on the door, so I couldn't get in the house. When I tell you, my peeps, I've been through it. I went through it with my dad, his wife, and his stepdaughter. His wife, I remember one night I was sleeping. We didn't have no arguments whatsoever, no arguments. And at about 3:30 a.m., I hear boom, boom, boom on the door. I open the door. 2 police officers in my face saying that, she came and make a report that she wants me out of her house. First and foremost, before the officer said that, both of them looked at each other, because it's a male and a female. They looked at each other like, huh? And then I'm like, because my eyes were foggy or blurry or whatever. So when I, came to my realization, they're like, this lady such and such came to the station, make a report saying that she wants you out of her house. Did something happen? I'm like, no, we didn't even argue. I don't understand what's going on. So they ask her, like, what happened? She's like, I just want her out my house. I don't want her here. And then she want to go out and not tell me where she going and who she with and stuff like that. And she want to come back here and da da da. And then the officer asked me my age. Do mine, I'm in my 30s. And I told them, they're like, what? But she's a grown woman. She don't need to explain all that to you. Like, yeah, but it's my house and I want her out. I said, officer, permission to speak? They're like, yeah. I said, first and foremost, it's not her house. It's my dad's house. They're married, legally married, but it's not her house. So they asked if her name is on the title. I said, I could call my dad, but I don't think so. I called my dad because, again, my dad worked from state to state. So he's not sleeping. So I called my dad because my dad was watching everything on the camera. Called my dad. I put the phone on speaker. And they asked my dad, like, is her name on your title? He's like, no. So she can't put my daughter out. At this time, me and my dad, we weren't good, but we weren't the best. You get me? Or the worst at this point. So they're like, ma'am, we can't help you. The only way you could do this is get your name on the title or give her a written notice. Oh my God. She was mad. They told me to go back to sleep. I'm watching her walking when she went downstairs, because my room was at the front, so I could see when she go through the garage to walk them back outside. So I'm watching her. She went out there. She was mad, and she called my dad, start cussing him and stuff like that. I want her out. My son is not here, so I want her out. She can't stay here, blah, blah, blah. So at this point now, I'm like, damn. 2 days after, there was a notice on my door. I had to go to court. I went to court. But before that, it's like I had my suspicions that someone was going through my stuff in my room, because I remember I had like $1,300 in a Ziploc bag, then wrapped with paper towel and stuff in my boots in the closet. And I remember when I went in there to take the money out, it looked different. The paper towel was inside the Ziploc bag. The Ziploc bag wasn't closed. So when I checked it, $250 was missing. At this point, my dad's wife daughter was there. When I called my dad and I complained, he told me he knew at the time that it was her, because his money was going missing too. So he knew that it was her. So I bought a camera. So yeah, You know, your girl go on Amazon. Yes, big bad Amazon. And purchase my cameras and my extension cords, because I have to put them in designated areas. And they had night vision and all of that. So I buy my cameras. I'm gonna put up 2 cameras in my room, where if I don't tell you, you can't know that cameras are there. And I made sure to get black cameras too. Put up my cameras. Why am I at court? Got a notification on my phone saying, oh, a person was detected in your bedroom. My son and my sister are at school because court is in the morning. This was like 9 a.m. When I look at the camera, my wife in my room, I go through my stuff, and then she left and she go put on her gloves and come back. I have the video in my phone right now, up to now, because I not delete it. Have the video in my phone right now. With this woman, I go through everything from my underwear drawer to underneath my bed. She went through everything. She did not leave no stones unturned. I called my dad. I said, why is it that I am at work and your wife is going through my room? He's like, what are you talking about? She's not doing that. I said, yes, she is. I'm watching her right now on my camera. He's like, you bought a camera? I said, yes. And I know every time she goes in my room. Every time. And my towels and stuff that she stole. He's like, what? She's like, send me the video. I sent him the video of his wife go. And it's like, sometimes when you turn on the light, the camera will make that click sound. So I guess she heard that and she turned around and looked in the direction where the camera was, but she couldn't see it because, again, I hid it. So she was unable to, notice it. Anyway, she went through my closet and whatever. My dad said nothing to her. A couple days after I think it was a day after we got into it. Do mind, I am this big and this lady is this big. And she go come up in my face. Ooh. She came up in my face. We're on the second floor. The second floor, guys. The second floor. At the staircase at that. And she pointing in my face. Oh. Yeah, so the lady are pointing on my face. Called me all sorts of this. And that's when she said, oh, you must be selling ooha because they know where you just come a foreign and you buying stuff. You send barrel go back at Jamaica. You ain't no way you leave Jamaica and have a brand new car down there, and so on and so forth. Like, it was a lot. This lady and my dad, because my dad told me every time she comes to me, record it. I use that on him too, because he's no different. So I use it on him too. She called him and she cussing him out because he told her to go downstairs, and mine, I pitch her downstairs. And I'm like, get your wife, because she don't even know who I am. Baby. One thing about me, I don't play disrespect. You disrespect me, yeah, we gonna have a talk. I don't play that disrespect thing because I'm not disrespecting nobody. I am big on respect. Do not disrespect me. The moment you disrespect me, you're gonna see a whole different side of me. But anyways, we got into it and whatnot. She's like, she don't want me there and stuff like that, and she gonna get me out. Anyways, it ended up that's my dad. I wanted to go to Vegas for my birthday, and my dad, he went to Vegas and he took her. She took back a keychain for me. I threw that shit in the trash. I threw it in the trash because I'm like, what? I don't want that. You don't like me. I don't want you to bring no gifts for me. For my birthday, all this happened between August and my birthday, because my birthday is December 1st. I'm a Sag, big Sag. Anyway, for my birthday, do man, I just came here and I asked my dad, can you take me to get a cake for my birthday and whatever? And he's like, no, lie. I asked him if he could take me to Publix because I did ask someone where I could get a cake from, and they told me. And I asked him if he could take me to Publix. He did take me to Publix. So we went to Publix. I got my cake and whatever, and he stayed in his car and waited until I purchased my cake and came back. Then he went into Publix and get whatever. He got back to the car, and then he's like, oh, lie. He went out. We went back to the house, and he took his wife and stepdaughter out to eat on my birthday. And the next day, no, she gave me a fish, a snapper fish, and I threw that shit in the trash. Because one thing my mama taught me, she said, never eat from your enemies, because they're snakes. I threw it in the trash, and he was pissed because he's like, oh, why you throw the food away? I know you throw the food away that such and such gave you. I'm like, yeah, why are you mad? I'm not gonna eat that. He's like, oh, you could have told her you didn't want it. I said I did, but she insists, and that made me even more suspicious, and I threw it in the trash. The next day, he's like, oh, because no, a gift came for me for my birthday that same night. And he didn't say anything. The next day is when he's gonna say, oh, I didn't know it was your birthday. How did you not know it's my birthday? I'm your first daughter. You took me to pick up the cake. You saw the gift that says happy birthday. But because he's a narcissist and he doesn't like to see people do well, he said whatever. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. Anyways, he at one point, I remember one time me and my brother was going on the road too, and I had on some leggings, and he's like, oh, that's what you're wearing on the road? I'm like, what? Yeah. He used to make slick comments too, talk about, oh, you're gaining weight. Why are you gaining so much weight and this and that and that? And he used to make me so uncomfortable when he used to make those remarks. I didn't like it. You get me? Because you're my dad. Like, ew, don't make those are sexual comments. I didn't like it at all. So sometimes when he would say things, I would just ignore him, because I'm like, if you don't see nothing wrong with that, something is seriously wrong with you. So anyways, so my birthday is December and whatever. So January now, it got worse. It got to the point where he starts threatening my son. And I told my son, I ended up going to visit a friend or friends in a different state that January. Yes. It was after the New Year. I went to visit my friends, which that I will tell you about that in a whole different video. But I went to visit my friend and so on, and it's like he didn't like that. He started threatening my son, telling my son he would throw him through the effing window. My son doesn't know who he all because my son forget to take the trash can out. Took the trash out the night before. He threatening my son he will murder him and stuff like that. He will end him. I don't even know if I can say murder, but he will end my son and stuff like that. He used to threaten my son a lot. And I told my son, I said, record everything he says, everything. So anyway, I'm at my friend's house. I spent like 2 weeks. Then I came back to my dad's house. And I was there. I was so uncomfortable because I wasn't working. I was working when I first got here. And then I ended up stopped working at that facility because they weren't paying me. They wanted to work me, and they treated people badly, and I didn't like that. But anyway, that's for another video. So now my dad, I went to my friend, came back. It was so bad that I didn't even want to come out my room because He made it so hard and uncomfortable for me. Both him and his wife, everything was a problem. Now I can't wear certain clothes. We can't shower for long. We to the point where we had, like, if we shower in the night, we have to wait until she's at work, because she goes to work like in the evenings, to shower again. And that used to piss me off. I did not like that at all. So anyway, so now we're having all these uncomfortable situation going on. You get me? And this man, I ended up rekindling with an old friend that I'll tell you about in a whole nother video. Rekindling with a whole friend, and ended up going to see that old friend. And while I was there, but the crazy part about it, so you just come to the United States, and again I was dealing with a situation. So I had my attorney, and I reached out to, because my sister, I had to get full custody. I had to prove that I'm able to take care of her and stuff like that, because she was underage when she came here. When I went to visit my friend, he called immigration on me, telling these people I left my underage sister and son in the house by themselves, and I'm in a whole different state. These people called me. This lady called me. But the crazy part about it, I had already told my attorney, well, my sister attorney, which I would say my attorney, because but it was my sister's attorney, because again I had to do the legal way with everything, with my sister getting her from Jamaica and whatever. So she called me, and she's like, hey, can you talk? I'm like, not really, I'm in an Uber. She said, well, she started laughing. She said, you remember you were telling me how your dad were? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, your dad called immigration and child protective services, telling them that you're in a different state and you left the kids unattended. Do mind, my dad knew I was going, because I told him I was going. He was there. His wife was there, and his stepdaughter was there. And he called him and told him that. I was still there. I was still by my friend. Ended up having to, leave my friend, because he's threatening my son at this point, telling him he gonna murder him. I have recordings up to this day. I have recordings on top of recordings where he threatening my son and threatening me and threatening, that he's gonna end us and stuff like that. Boy, I'm telling you, this was between January, because I moved out my dad's house in May. So I was there for like a year. He said we can't stay there. Ooh, this is the sweet part. So while I was at my friend's house, he took the door off the hinges, or inches, or whatever you call it. He took the door off, so his tenant was able to see in the room while my son and my sister was in the room. And my son put a sheet up so you won't be able to see them. That man came and tore that sheet down and said he doesn't want the sheet up. He want to be able to see in the room. And he fixed the camera so the camera is pointed straight to the room, the bedroom. He oh my God. When I hear people tell these stories, I used to think like, damn, like parents are really like that, until I get to experience it firsthand. So now I'm at my friend. My dad said we can't stay there. When I tell you it was the worst 1 year of my life, the worst 1 year. Back up. Back up to that December after my birthday. It's Black Friday. Was it Black Friday? No, it was Black Fridays before my birthday. So I did went out and got a big flat screen TV, because I'm at this point I had made a thing on Amazon that, like, I sent the links to people that I know, and they would purchase stuff for me and send it. I forgot, registry or whatever it's called. I created that, and packages was just coming in. Because when I tell you I am blessed and highly favored, baby, let me tell you, God never let me go through no situation for long, ever, never, ever. I'm getting gifts from all angles. When I purchased that TV on for Black Friday, and I took it to the house, he asked me, no, he said, "Oh, so you not gonna put the TV up in the living room?" I said, "Why should I do that?" He's like, "There's no TV in the living room." I said, "I'm not doing that. My TV is for when I move out of here." So, "Oh, you planning to move?" I said, "Yeah, I am moving." He's like, "Oh, okay." So from that, it's like just bad blood. When my mail start coming, his wife used to take them and bring them downstairs and go through them. So sometimes when my mail comes, I don't see it, because she goes through it and take my stuff. So I wouldn't get it most of the time, unless it's like some big boxes, and I will get the notification like, "Hey, your package was arrived," or what and what, or such and such, stuff like that. Anyway, so my packages start coming in. She start complaining again, saying, "Oh, I have all these packages coming." So I start packing them in my closet. I'm buying my stuff, packing them in my closet to, keep them out the way and stuff like that. She didn't like that. So while I was at my friend's house, packages were still going there. And she was mad. She was pissed. So I'm at my friend's house, and my son called me one day, and he said he was like, "Mom," because my son is so humble. Thank God for him. God gave me the best child ever. My son is so humble. He called me one day, and he's like, "Mom, I can't take this no more. I'd rather to pack my things and live on the side of the road." When my son said that, I felt my world crumbled when my son said that. And I asked him, I said, "What happened?" And he's like, "Oh, your dad." No, he said Gramps. He said Gramps threatened me and telling me how he gonna kill me, and we need to get out of his house, else he gonna put us out. That's the time when he took the door off. So I'm like, no. My confidant was living not far from my dad, so I used to call him and complain to him, and and stuff like that. Like, I'm not gonna lie, if it wasn't for that person, boy, to this day. But yeah, my dad said, "Oh, we need to get out of his house, else he gonna end one of us," and stuff like that. It was so bad, to the point where he said I couldn't come to the house to get my stuff. He will put them out the road. So my confidant went there, but I was back in town, but my dad didn't know, because I was back in town trying to find a place. I found a place like in 4 days. In 4 days, I found a place. And my confidant went, packed the stuff that I had, all the boxes and stuff, because at this point I only had appliances, sheets, plates and stuff like that, that I needed. I didn't have a bed or nothing. So when I got my first apartment, because I can't forget, I moved out my dad's house. I think this was the June, because I asked him for some time when I got the place and everything, and he's like, "Okay, we'll give me some time." So my confidant went and grabbed the stuff. I ended up moving into my new apartment. He didn't know I was in town. He thought I was still in a different state. So when my confidant went and got the stuff and whatever, he was helping to put the stuff in the back of the truck. He was helping. So it's like, no, my confidant, like, this can't be the same person that I heard on those recordings. This is not the same person. This is a whole different person. You get what I'm saying? So when my confidant told him, like, hey, yeah, I'm gonna come back for the kids and the rest of the stuff, which I was gonna go back. I'm the one who went back. So when he saw me pull up, I just walked straight in the house. Both him and his wife was outside. I just got out the car and walked straight in the house, went upstairs, finished packing up the stuff, grabbed my son and my sister, make sure the room was clean and whatnot, and we packed the stuff in the car. And by the time we drove off, I blocked him and the wife and deleted their numbers from my phone. But the crazy part about it, my dad cussed me out and said, oh, you will never become nothing. You will never have nothing. And all these type of things. He was cussing me out. This was before I moved, because he called me one day and he cussed me out so bad. Cussed me out. Me and him back and forth on the phone. And I'm like, you threatening my son, you mother. I'm like, at this point, I don't even have no respect for you, because the mere fact that you threatening my son, like, me and you, we're not gonna be cool. You're not my dad at this point. And do mind, we never had a relationship, but the mere fact that, okay, at the end of the day, he's my dad. So I used to call him dad, because just as how I call my mom, I call him dad. I feel like it's disrespectful for me to call my parents by their first name. Crazy part about it, me and my dad, we have the same freaking initial. The same initial, first, middle, and last, same initial. If, like, our names are the same, sound the same too, at that. So we going back and forth, and he telling me, oh, he will end us. And I'm like, you don't know me. I said, you need to go do your research about me, because you threatening me, I don't take threats lightly. And the mere fact, I don't care if you want to threaten me, but the moment you gonna threaten my son, like, that's a whole different ball game. So me and him, we going at it, and I'm like, ooh, if I was in the, like, I start thinking all sort of things, because I'm like, yo, this man don't even know. You threatening my child. My child is not even a disrespectful kid. He's not disrespectful. So it's like, all these things are running in my head. And then the mere fact, my son telling me, like, he rather to sleep outside. He rather to go live on the road, and I'm in a whole different state. I'm like, no, I gotta get it together. So anyway, fast forward back to me moving out. He told me I'm not gonna be nothing. I'm not gonna have nothing. That's the best I'm ever gonna live, which was in his house. Crappy. But he told me all that. I move out my dad's house June, because my son, when we moved in there, I didn't have not even a bed. Someone purchased 3 blow-up beds for me in Walmart. So I got 3 blow-up mattresses, and that's what we were sleeping on. This was in June 3rd, because I moved into my apartment June 3rd. He told me this is June. I started working in July. I think it was July 15th. I start working July 15th. July 25th, God as my witness, my house was furnished. And if any of you know my TikTok, you could go on my TikTok and you will see my first apartment when I posted the first video with me driving up to the complex. At that point, my apartment was empty. And by July 25th, I went to a store, my apartment, and everything in my apartment was paid for cash. I did not take out anything. I am not paying for anything in my house. Everything was purchased cash, cash, everything. So my house was furnished, and I bought, and it was all, and it's all good stuff. No second and nothing nobody used. I went to the furniture, Georgia Furniture Mart or whatever they call it. Everything was purchased right there, right then, and my stuff were delivered the Friday. I think it was the Friday, yeah. Because I went there the Wednesday, I think. Yeah, I went there the Wednesday. My stuff were delivered on the Friday. Furnished. Because my apartment was so empty where if you talk too loud, it echoes. Because there wasn't anything in there. I had nothing at all in there. But what I did, I fixed up my bathroom with my towels and so on. Put up my little decorations, and I had a friend at the time. She helped me to decorate the bathroom with the towels, make the look of fancy stuff with the towels and stuff. But when I tell you I went through it with my dad, I went through it. Yeah, I went through it with my dad and his wife. I went through it. It was so bad to the point where if I go out, I can't come in. If I go to the grocery store, it's a problem. It was bad. Like my dad and his wife, it was so bad to the point where I remember crying. I used to cry a lot because that it was just too much. It was overwhelming. And then I was going through my personal issues. You get what I'm saying? I was going through it at the same time. So it's like, damn. And I met in a car accident that July that broke right here. So my son had to shower me. I couldn't really do much because I had on one of those hard casts and stuff like that. And my dad got the insurance money and he didn't even give me a dime. He didn't even gave me a dime. And but I tell you, man, when I sit down and I think about all these things, I'm like, why? And my first car that I got in the US was a Mercedes. And I don't know how he knew, but he made a remark about, oh, I'm driving around in a rental and I rented a furnished apartment. Like, sir, if you know me, you know that I ain't gonna rent no furnished apartment. Because one thing about me, I like nice things and I like fixing up my place how I want it. Okay? So yeah, he made his remarks and stuff like that. But honestly, like, I don't hold grudges. I don't hold grudges. I drove there like probably twice to see if he was there and stuff, but he was never there. This was like when I first moved, because I'm like, okay, maybe because I was living there, the relationship wasn't going well because of his wife and whatnot. But after that, I really sat down and I'm like, you know what? No, I'm not gonna do this. Like, I don't think this is healthy at all. And like I stated, I've heard a lot of stories about people who came to the US or any country outside of their homes and they went through it and stuff like that. So I said this to say sometimes it's best to keep friends and family at bay, because for your own parent to treat you a certain way, but these people, I remember one time I had no money whatsoever, and I called my dad and asked him. I said to him, I said, Dad, can I talk to you for a minute? And he's like, what's up? He said, no, I said to him, me and my son and my sister were here and there's nothing for us to eat, because at the time I had quit my job because they treated people really bad and I didn't like it, so I quit my job. Up to this day, these people owe me money. And he said, oh, I have the money, but I'm not going to give it to you. That's what he said. He said, it's not like I don't have it. I have it, but I'm just not going to give it to you. Hmm. So we were in that house for like a good 5 days with nothing to eat. Only thing was water. We had water because I always stay, you know, with my waters and stuff. I always keep waters. Like when I'm purchasing waters, I try to get at least 2 to 3 cases of water. So we had water. So that's what we were surviving off of. And when he said that, like, it broke my heart, because I'm like, damn. But I'm glad he did what he did, because I've been here not long and I have accomplished so much without his help. And I am proud to say that 99.99% of what I have accomplished, I did it on my own. Not my own, but with the mercy of God, because that trust me, I'm blessed and I'm highly favored. Blessed and highly favored. And I will never sit down and speak bad about him. But the mere fact that after we moved out, him and the wife got divorced. That's the sad part. You chose a whole woman over your, not saying, because I'm an adult, so I wouldn't expect him to choose me over her, but at least set mutual respect or boundaries where, you know, everybody feels safe or good. But the mere fact that you helped this woman cuss me out and cuss my child out only because he forgot to take the trash out, you threatening his life and my life. Because my sister, she's, I don't know, I don't think she is anymore, but she was easily influenced. So they will talk to her. But my son, he will try to talk bad about me to my son, and my son will stop him right there, like, no, I don't want to talk about my mom. I'm not going to sit here and let you talk about my mom. We're not doing that. So he didn't like that. Both him and his wife, they didn't like that. The crazy part about it, my sister and his wife, birthdays are in 3. My dad is first, my sister is second, and the wife is third. Their birthday is 3 days in a row. 3 days. It's like, man, I went through it. When I tell you that first year when I was over here, I went through it, and God saved me. Because when I tell you, I used to cry so much. It's like when I put on my weight, I lost it, and I lose weight fast. Like, it would take me a while to gain weight, but when I'm losing weight, it's like it just fall off. Like when you throw water on something and that's how my weight is. And I just couldn't do it anymore, and I'm grateful. So I know I probably skipped a few things, not intentionally, but I know there are other people out there with very similar stories, and it's not a good feeling, especially when you're new to somewhere and you're still learning certain things, and you have people around you that you probably looked up to or expected, you know, a good relationship from, and it didn't work out. I know, I understand, I get it 1,000%, I get it. And it's really not a good feeling, because my mom wasn't like that. I lived with my mom my whole life. Even when she moved out, I went and rented a 4-bedroom house and took her from where she was living. So when my mom passed away, she was living with me in Jamaica. So, and for me to come here and like, oh, my dad been living here for 30 years basically, or almost 30 years. And I'm like, okay, you know, father, daughter, we gonna have a good relationship. Not even my sister that followed me didn't like me. She didn't like me either. She didn't like me. My dad told me she doesn't like me either, which I'm not even gonna say yes, that's true. I don't know, but that's what he told me, and that's the vibe that I got from her. Because like when I reach out to her and like let her know that I'm here and stuff like that, she didn't pay me no mind. She read my message and just left it. I'm telling you, I've been through it, but I give thanks. I give God the glory, because they say after every storm there's a calm, and trust me. Oh, before I go, when the stepdaughter moved in the winter, she moved in around winter time. You know what she did? Because my dad doesn't like when nobody touched the thermostat. She will turn the heat off. So it's cold outside and it's cold inside. We have to wear 2 sweatpants, socks, and sweater inside the house, because she will turn the heat off. And in the summertime, she turned the heat high. So we are in the house. My son started having nosebleeds and stuff like that. That's how bad it was. And when I would call him and say things to him, he's like, oh, she didn't touch it. It must have been one of you, because you guys don't used to these type of things and stuff like that. I'm like, why would you say that? Why you feel like we're not used to these type of things? But yeah, I'm telling you. So yes, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up. Like I said, I don't want to bore you, and thanks for watching Bare and Unfiltered by Antilia, aka Talia. See you guys. Peace, love. Mwah. Love ya.